Hi and welcome to this tutorial to build your painting skills. This painting task demonstrates a flat approach to painting. If you are more into design, illustration, or cartooning, you may find this approach more enjoyable. Though the image appears simplified, at times more precision is required for edge and line work. This task may take you around 1 hour to complete. I plan on using this image of Amy Winehouse as a compositional reference. We will work kind of small, about 16 centimeters by 20 centimeters. I'll mark this out in my sketchbook now. I will include 2 images now of what we will draw. You can pause the video and trace it if it's faster. I'll also include this one in case you need a bigger size. If you want to see how I break the drawing down, continue watching. If you decide to trace, use the chapter markers to jump to the next section. Don't spend more than 10 minutes drafting in pencil. Focus more on the painting aspect. I first start out putting this diagonal on the left for the edge of her face. I then place one on the right. This is for the width of the head. I'll then mark out the top and bottom. The nice thing with this style is you don't have to worry too much about accuracy. I then put in this center line, which is off center due to the foreshortening. I put in the next horizontal line for where the eyes will go. I then add a line for the nose and the mouth. I add these additional lines as that is how big I want the eyes to be. I then observe the forehead angle and then work on the jawline angles. I'm then going to create the large eyes. For the nose, I'm only going to depict the nostrils. And then I'll draw the mouth. I'll exaggerate the eyebrows and slightly refine some of the line work. I'll then mark out the forehead and start on the hair. To finish off, I'll add the shoulders. I'll then darken some of the lines just so it's easier for you to see. You do not need to do this. I erase some of the draft lines on the face as I will paint it a yellowy orange, and this may show through the paint. For brushes, I will use a small and medium filbert brush, which has curved bristles, and this round brush. I also have a cup of water to wash my brush between colors and a rag to wipe any excess paint, but a paper towel is also fine. On my palette, I will use an orangey yellow, magenta, a turquoise, black, and a small touch of white just for the eyes. You are welcome to substitute any colors you wish. For this painting style, I find it easier to paint from the lightest to the darkest colors. I'll start with the white and paint the eyes. I don't have to be very precise here, as the other colors can cover the white if I paint over the pencil lines. Next, I will move on to the yellow to paint the face. I do all the edge work first. Note how I turn the brush to use the thin area for more precision. I can paint over penciled areas with the yellow, as these will later be painted black. I'm going to create a shadow tone under the neck and eye area for practice. To do this, I'll add a little black to the yellow. You may notice I added too much black. To fix this, note how I pull more yellow into another area to rebalance the ratio. I then add this tone under the jawline, hair, and eyelid area. Next, I'll move on to the magenta and paint the background. Again, I start along the edges. When I get to the hair area, I know the turquoise I will be using will cover the magenta, so I don't need to be super precise here. This is why you may see some artists preparing swatches of color beforehand. At times they are testing to see what colors match well and to see if any issues will be had with overlapping. I always notice that certain purpley colors often leave behind streaks and need 2 to 3 coats of paint to fix this. I'll now use the turquoise to begin the hair. Here I will also refine the edges so they are crisp. I often rotate my paper when doing edge work because it's always easier to paint towards yourself. I will continue doing the edges and then fill it in. Some areas will probably need second coats. For this small curved area, I will use the round brush and only apply paint to the tip. I rest my hand on the painting so it doesn't shake. I forgot to paint the lips magenta, so I'll do this now. Note how I use the brush to do the edges. I'll now go on to the black sections. For painting the eyes, some extra care needs to be given. Here I really try to manipulate the brush, and after applying paint to it, I smoothen the bristles to make them flat. Here's a little trick for the eyebrows. I use a flat brush, and after applying the paint, I smoothen the bristles to make them flat. For the corners, I tilt one end of the brush up to use only half of the bristles. If you find this difficult, you could use a marker or a Posca pen for this section. So this is how the painting looks when finished. You could leave it like this, but I've gone and used Posca pens to create black line work to show you how it would look. I then doubled the thickness of the black lines, and then tripled them. You see it appears more graphic with the thick black lines and flattens the image. If you like this sort of style, you may enjoy the work of Julian Opie, Alex Katz, and the digital work of Camilla Rosa. I hope this has helped you develop a flat approach to painting. Be sure to check out some of the other videos to continue building your skills. Painting takes time and practice. Don't give up.